Hey guys, today what we're going to be looking at is abstracting the solving process. So far what we've been looking at is solving for a variable and that variable having a number as a solution. What we're going to do is take a step back and we're actually going to look at is how to solve for a variable if there were no numbers. So essentially we're using we're just using variables to represent numbers and we're still trying to get x by itself. So what do I mean by that? Here I have this problem. Actually, let's back up. So what I mean by that is if I have 3x plus 1 equals 10. How I would do this, I would minus 1 from both sides. To get 3x equals 9, I would divide both sides by 3 to get x equals 3. Well, now what we're going to do is, let's say we have the same exact problem, but instead of that 3, 1, and 10, I just have different variables. I have ax plus b is equal to c. And I'm still trying to get x by itself. The first thing I would do is I would minus b on both sides. This would give me ax is equal to c minus b. And then what I would do is I would divide both sides by a to get x is equal to c minus b divided by a. Now if you look at the two sides, it's the same exact process, except one is just variables, and the one in blue on the left has numbers of what we're used to. This can get a little tricky, so we're going to do our best. So let's go ahead and look at this. I am trying to get x by itself. Well, the first thing I want to do, this whole thing is being divided by the letter D. So I'm going to get rid of that letter D by multiplying both sides. These are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with ax minus c is equal to bd. Now remember, I'm still trying to get x by itself, so what I'm going to do is add c on both sides. This will give me ax is equal to b times d plus c. And then to get this x by itself, it's a times x. And to get rid of multiplication, we use division. So we're going to divide those both sides. This will give me x is equal to bd plus c all over a. And that is our final solution. That is how we would solve for x. So it doesn't matter what any of those variables equal, the solving process would be the same. So now let's go and look at this one. I have 2 all over 3x is equal to d over 6. So the first thing, you never want your variable x. We're always solving for x here to be on the denominator. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 3x. This will give me, these cancel, and it'll give me 2 is equal to 3 dx over 6. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. And these are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with 12 is equal to 3dx. Now some of you might see a different way, and there are a few different ways to solve this problem. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And that'll give me 12 divided by 3 is 4 is equal to dx. And then all I'm going to do is divide both sides by d to get 4 divided by d is equal to x. I have now gotten x by myself, so you are done. Now this next one I would consider a tricky one because we're trying to get x by itself, but it's on 2 different variables. So what we're going to do when it's on 2 different variables, we're going to get those 2 variables by themselves. So the first thing I'm going to do is add c to both sides. Here now I'm going to have ex plus fx is equal to d plus c. Now this is the tricky part. It's kind of like reverse distribution. You see that both of these have an x. So I can pull out or factor out an x, and I'm left with e plus f equals d plus c. This right here is probably the most confusing step with these because we're not used to seeing it like this way. But if I were to distribute these again, we would see we would get EX plus FX. So therefore, I know it's okay to do that. Now to get X, remember this is X times E plus F. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by E plus F. Divide this side by E plus F. These are going to cancel, and I'm left with X is equal to D plus C all over E plus F. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to solve for W. So you have a few word problems, and I'm not going to go over the whole process, but I do want to help you get the variable by itself if you're stuck. So what we're going to do is we're trying to get W by itself, so what we're going to do is divide both sides by 2. This will give me L plus W is equal to P over 2. And then to get W by itself, we're going to subtract L from both sides. So this will be W is equal to your P divided by 2, and you're going to minus L from that. And that's how you get W by itself. Now, if you're on this problem, go ahead and use that part of the equation to then answer the rest of your questions. Now on this one, area equals 1/2 base times height. That's an area of a triangle. We're going to use this to solve for base. So the first thing what I want to do is multiply both sides by 2, because that's going to be a fraction buster, and those are going to cancel. So I'm going to have 2a is equal to bh. Now I'm going to get b by itself, and I'm going to do that by dividing both sides by h. Those h's are going to cancel. I'm going to be left with 2a all over h is equal to my base, equal to my b value. So hopefully these videos helped. If you have any questions, please email me or your teacher, and I hope you guys have a great day.